All right then. This is everybody. We have everything.
Mm-hmm.
Then let's get moving.
Onward.
So you guys all start to go up. It is obviously very cold.
Is there any way that Mariah could, Mary, Mary, not Mariah. Is there any way that Mary could do something before they head off while they're all together?
I'm going to say that while everyone's prepping, Furball is going to be intently studying a map of the surrounding area.
Okay, so she's going to sing a song, and with it, she's going to cast. She has her Mantle of Inspiration, which is part of her Bard College of Glamour, which grants her a wondrous appearance that allows her company to each gain 5 temporary hit points. She's gonna be like, "All I want for Yule is you," is what she performs.
And as you perform this, go ahead and roll a percentile.
Oh, goodness. Let's see.
I hope it might not work.
That is 60.
Okay. Yeah, as you begin to sing, everybody feels a little more invigorated.
Woohoo! Yeah.
And Jolly will sing along with it.
So as you guys start trudging up the not quite yet, as you guys are leaving town, you guys start to sing. People are wishing you happy Yule and good luck. And you officially leave Autumn's Rest. The road goes north. And suddenly, within maybe about less than half a mile out of town, the road just kind of ends. And before you is quite a mountain range.
Do we know where we're going? She says to everyone.
Mr. Furball had the map.
I've got a general idea.
Yeah, you would have a general idea where Delectation, because people can see, they know it exists because they can see lights, especially during the winter time. They can see it on the side of the mountain every so often. So something is up there, and it's been around long enough to where something must be there permanently. There is no map to Delectation. Nobody's been able to get there and come back. But you have a rough idea. So between your ranger skills and Jolly's obsession with Yule-time and all things Delectation, go ahead and roll a survival with advantage.
That would be a 28.
Yeah, you have a confident direction to go in. Almost directly north, but it's slightly to the west. You would know that despite the weather, it is possible maybe to get there, but you'll have to see, even with that high of a roll. You have a path that you have roughly in mind that you would be willing to traverse, especially with the weather going on as it is.
Come, we must take the pass of Cariah.
Leland, for his part, is already stomping his feet, trying to keep moving, trying to keep warm. Yeah, let's go.
So you guys continue to hike up the mountain, if you will. After a couple hours, the weather continues to kind of be borderline, if not stormy, essentially. I'm going to have everybody roll a Constitution saving throw.
I got a 10.
I got a natural 20 with my +2, that's 22.
I got a 9.
16.
16, 19. So as you guys continue to go up, Leland and Furball, you're starting to really feel it. Jolly, that clothing is working out quite well for you. It may look a little ridiculous, but it's effective. Mary Cariah is so much herself that no coldness can penetrate her. I mean, she comes out of the ice every year, so.
Absolutely. Straight up wearing her, like, furry red and white suits, just, like, cut capes and everything. She's warm.
So if it's super cold at this point, that's when Martha would drink the potion.
I know I said initially that it's small, but let's go ahead and make it a bit larger. Almost like a flask size, if you will. And as soon as you take a simple sip, you start to feel pretty warm.
Oh, anybody cold? Anybody cold?
But as you exhale every time, a little bit of fire just kind of erupts from your nostrils every single time. So as you're going around, like, anybody wants them, you just, like, boom, boom, like, just these flaming nostrils come as you're offering this strange, very yellow drink to people.
I'm not gonna lie, right when she got that potion, just from the description, I had a feeling it was gonna be like fire's breath or something.
Hey, it works, right?
Unfortunately, every time you exhale, though, with your nose, your upper lip gets, like, really hot.
I'll be breathing out of my mouth. I'm like...
So yeah, so now that you're, like, breathing through your mouth, it's like just like these little bursts of fire that's kind of come out.
She's gonna go, like, up a little bit up to the snow, like, holding her glaive, all excited, and go, I'm a dragon!
Furball's gonna kind of tentatively finger at the fur on his upper lip, be like, I think I'm good.
Perhaps later, though, if we need to clear some snow.
Ooh. Just fire.
And if anyone does need a little bit of warmth that doesn't come with fire, I do have cocoa for everyone.
And as you drink the cocoa is able to stave off the cold a bit, at least temporarily.
Heck yeah. She actually says, "Do we want to take a break or find, like, a tree to shelter by and just sit down? We have been trudging for a while."
How long have we been trudging?
At this point, I would say probably about 4 hours.
Okay. Leland has to recast Tensor's floating disc every hour, but I believe he can ritual cast and walk. So about every hour, he's like, nobody distract me, as he's focusing and recasting the spell.
Yeah, I would allow that. Alright. So are you guys taking a break?
How intense has the storm gotten?
It hasn't necessarily gotten worse, but it definitely hasn't lightened up either.
Are we in a location that would be good to take a break in?
The visibility around you guys is pretty low, so being able to locate something would be really hard. Somebody's welcome to roll a survival check, just with disadvantage because of how low the visibility is and the fact that there's no path up the mountain.
If we assisted this person in the roll, would they be able to get a straight up roll?
I would allow that.
Well, and we have the hope points to use too.
What are we looking for again? Sorry.
A place to pause to take a break. To get out of the storm for a minute or two.
Oh. Well, in that case, then, if someone's willing to help and give me a straight roll, then
I can help you.
I just rolled a 23. Favored terrain.
You are able to find a kind of like a divot off to the side, and it seems deep enough that it would definitely provide temporary shelter that would be suitable for a break.
Yeah, upon finding this, Furball's gonna kind of hunker down to it and call to everyone else, "Hey, over here, we got somewhere to get out of the cold for a bit."
We don't have very long.
Yeah, short, like 10-minute break to rest our legs and warm up just a smidge, and then we'll be on our way.
So as everybody gets down into the divot, Jolly will go over and open the box of ginger snaps and start distributing a ginger snap to everybody.
As she does that, Mary is also pouring the shot glasses of cocoa for everyone too.
Now here's the question. Is the cocoa still hot?
Mary, go ahead and roll a percentile.
Okay.
I was gonna say Jolly will take her ginger snap and like dip it in the shot glass and like you know, like you do with the Oreo and eat the cookie.
65.
It is still warm.
Yeah.
As everyone's coming in, Furball's gonna kind of cram himself into like an unnaturally small crevice in the back of the area to allow everyone space and just kind of sit there and hunker up. You guys are all kind of intrigued by the fact that this 7-foot-tall bugbear crammed himself into a little ball of fur, like a literal ball of fur, in the corner of the crevice, just trying to warm up.
Mary's gonna go over to Furball with the cup of cocoa and just be like, would you like some cocoa to warm up just a bit on the inside?
And you see an eye peek out from under an arm in the ball of fur, and he just says, I guess I wouldn't mind some. Thanks.
She wordlessly passes over the shot glass of cocoa.
It disappears into the ball of fur.
So do you guys continue on then?
After a short break, we're moving on.
So as you guys continue to go up, it continues to get cold. And it gets honestly a little, not that the weather has, again, not gotten any necessarily worse, but definitely not lighting up either. It is getting colder though as you go like up the mountain. This time though, I'm going to have everybody roll a wisdom saving throw.
22.
11.
9.
21.
Mod 20.
Martha and Mary, you can definitely feel not only the cold creep in onto your skin, but the cold becomes like this weight. You don't feel like singing. You don't feel like really doing anything other than just trying to just get up this dang mountain. So go ahead and take a humbug point.
And just to be clear, these humbug points are like a point of exhaustion, right?
If your humbug exceeds your Christmas
okay,
spirit.
that's right. Just wanted to.
I don't think anyone has used any yet, so we should all still be at 3.
Not only does the cold penetrate, but you're hearing wolves and other creatures and wildlife all around you, and it's not very welcoming at all. Honestly, there's times where you not only hear howling, but you almost hear snarling or the rushing of something running past nearby. It's a little spooky, honestly, seeing as you can't see very far. I would say you can see maybe like 20 feet ahead of you clearly enough, and then after that it's kind of a blur depending on how the wind's going. When the wind kind of lulls just a little bit, you can see further, but as it picks up, it kind of visibility gets lost again. But you continue going forward, and Trinket surprisingly has been really quiet this entire time and hasn't been saying a whole lot. However, for those near him, you would see that he's getting more nervous as you get closer to your desired destination.
In the words of Among Us, that's sus.
Bad. Bad.
I know.
Although Martha is kind of grouchy with the snow and all that. So, like, would you like a ride, Trinket? Maybe a higher vantage point so you can point things out for us?
Oh, no, I'm okay. I'm okay. And he kind of, like, huffs his bag a little bit more to, like, get it on straighter, and he kind of moves around a little bit to kind of get comfortable again. He kind of keeps going up, and the bag behind him just kind of wobbles because it's just so stuffed full of things. It seems to be a bunch of stuff that was literally just thrown in a bag. There's, like, no organization to it whatsoever.
Well, if you're sure, Trinket, I know it'd give me a lot of peace of mind because I can't see very far and it's kind of spooky.
I'm okay. I promise. Thank you, though. Thank you.
Oh, it wasn't for you to be okay. It was for me to be okay.
Oh,
Because I can't see very far. It's the extra foot.
I'm. You look exhausted. You need your strength.
Okay, she didn't take another sip of her fire drink.
More flames just like kind of come out, and you kind of forget for a second because you're used to breathing through your nose. You exhale, and you kind of almost like semi burn your upper lip. You're like, oh.
Put some snow on
and
it.
then like as you're like panicking, like it kind of goes between your nose and mouth, like trying to like figure it out. And finally you're like, you kind of have to try to calm yourself down. So like, and you're able to get it back under control. And you take a little bit of snow and just kind of add it on your upper lip there to try to cool it down. As you guys continue to go, suddenly Trinket kind of perks his head up, and then he starts to go. Surprisingly, finds this reserve of energy for some reason and starts to trudge ahead of you guys.
Trinket, wait up. You don't want to get lost in the snow.
I'll be fine. And he just continues to go.
Would it be hard to stay up, like keep up with him?
It wouldn't be necessarily too hard. You're just kind of surprised that he suddenly, like, before anybody could really, like, keep up with him, he's already to, like, the front of the line. And as you guys continue to go a little bit, suddenly Trinket just, like, stops, dead in his tracks. As quick as he was going, now he suddenly stopped.
Martha will stop next to him.
Mary's going to stop right by Leland, wherever he is.
Probably just behind them. Yeah.
Do you see something, Trinket?
Furball's gonna keep a close eye on Trinket as he, like, very slowly reaches for his weapon.
We're here.
And how would you know that we're here?
Because I'm from here.
The shock.
I'm gonna check what I need to roll to see if Jolly knows that they're here. Like, so she can back him up.
Depends on the kind of approach you want. If you want to do, like, an insight check to see if he's appearing to be honest, you could roll a perception check to kind of get a general sense of if it might be true, or... You could also try to roll a survival. I would allow that as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and roll a survival.
Okay.
That is an 18.
18? 18 would allow you to look around and see that he might be telling... There might be truth to what he's saying. You notice that there's not really, like... Because you've been passing, like, trees and whatnot, but you actually kind of notice, you kind of put your foot further in the snow, and you can kind of feel cobblestone? Like smooth rock, and you kind of start to investigate further and further, and it almost seems like you guys are on some kind of built path.
That's promising. Well, let's press onward then.
So why didn't you share this information with us sooner?
Because we like our anonymous nature.
Then do you know why they didn't do all of the little toys and holiday spirit this year?
I'm not sure. I was taking some long overdue PTO time. If I didn't use it, I was going to lose it, so... 100 years of working will do that to you. It doesn't roll over from century to century.
How long have you been on PTO at this point?
About a year.
So I'm assuming it expires after Yule. So, like, it would have in the next month.
Yeah, I was going to have to come back here tomorrow anyways.
And did everyone take this vacation?
No. I do not know why they stopped.
Well,
Well, we'll follow you, Trinket.
seems you know where you're going.
If anybody wants to do an insight check, they're welcome to do so.
Well, why not?
Due to his confusing past with gnomes, Furball nat one his insight check. He's just overly suspicious.
Mary's right there with you. She nat one too.
15.
15?
I got a 3.
It's better than a nat 1.
7.
7. That's also better than a nat 1.
Only slightly.
More than slightly.
Jolly, because of your obsession with all things Yule, you want to believe him, because this would be amazing. Somebody that actually lives in Delectation. This is a dream come true, under other circumstances. But this guy's got to know more than what he's letting on.
So she'll pipe up. Do you know how to get in there then?
Of course I do.
And you know who lives up there? Besides others like you.
Why do you assume it's all gnomes?
But that's what I'm saying. Is there somebody else up there
Besides me?
besides you and possibly other gnomes?
There are other peoples there, yes. Again, why are you assuming most of us are gnomes?
The boss guy.
Is someone in charge?
Yes. Yes.
Who would that be?
She... He seems hesitant to share too much, but not in the sense that he's trying to be difficult.
Seeing his hesitancy, Furball immediately is going to pipe up and say, all right, and how do we know you're not leading us into a trap?
As far as I know, I'm not.
You've been withholding
Not intentionally.
information. You know where we are. You seem to have led us here. How am I supposed to know that you have honest intent?
I do. I will... Look,
Your people have a history of being dishonest and tricking us.
And secretive.
What?
Are you guys
What?
secretive? It seems like it.
because we enjoy our anonymous nature?
But like everybody knows it comes from you.
It's a little odd.
Okay, but back to the real question. Who runs the stuff up there? You've got to have seen him or her, right?
Yes.
So what are we walking into? Do we need to fight him? Do we need to, get down and beg for the gifts back? I just need my Yule-time back.
Really hope you don't have to fight anybody. I'm telling you, and he points in the direction you guys were kind of going. Just a few yards away is Delectation. It's right there.
Well, Mary.
Furball's just gonna start trekking forward.
Yeah, Mary was actually also
Wait,
going to change.
wait. Do you guys heed his weight, or do you guys continue to just go forward?
Jolly will just keep going.
Mary's gonna keep going.
Martha waits.
He turns to you, Martha. Your friend. I'm not trying to be difficult, I promise. I just... He kind of just sighs with defeat. He's like, let's just go in with caution.
Going with caution, guys. Just be careful. She shouts ahead.
Is it because it's a trap?
It's not, I don't...
Mary keeps going forward but throws a thumbs up back at Martha. She proceeds with caution.
Martha will just shout ahead. Because we don't know if someone took over the place.
That's fair. I don't know if somebody else took over. I don't know why the gift stopped. It's unusual. It's not the normal. Something is wrong with Delectation, and I don't know what it is. Nothing like this has happened for hundreds of years.
It's okay, Trinket. We'll figure it out.
There is only one way to find out.
Jolly's gone. She's going.
Hey, where's Jolly?
Ahead of you.
She went ahead.
Probably with Mary.
Okay, just go in with caution, please. And he kind of just starts to. Oh, I hope this works. And he kind of just starts going forward. Although he kind of drops the bag for a second, he kind of just leans over like, oh, so close. And then he grabs the bag and just starts dragging it through the snow like.
I'm gonna just pick up his bag and just walk next to him with his bag.
It's actually pretty heavy. You're surprised he's made it this far with that backpack.
Dang, Trinket, you must work out.
And as you pick up the bag, there's lots of clinking and moving around and just stuff kind of rolling over each other in the bag as you pick it up.
I'll try and be more careful so they don't roll around.
You guys eventually enter Delectation, and it is a small village, if not a little hamlet, essentially.
As we hit the edge of the town, Furball's going to cast Pass Without Trace out of caution.
Alright, roll a percentile.
93.
You feel a slight resistance as you try to cast a spell, but you quickly push through it and are able to cast Pass Without Trace. Is it just on yourself, or are you trying to do the whole party?
Just out of caution, I'm just going to cast it on everybody.
Everybody gets plus 10 to their stealth, I believe.
And then he's sneaking it.
Do you also cast it on Trinket?
No.
And as you do so, Trinket kind of notices you guys kind of fade into the weather going around, because the weather hasn't lightened up at all. And he's like, oh, that may not be a bad idea, actually. Here. And he kind of continues to trudge forward in front of you all, or at least what he believes is the front of you. He's like, file. He starts to lead you toward one of the larger buildings.
So, in sneaking into town, I rolled a stealth check and got a nat 20. With Pass Without Trace, that's a stealth score of 37.
Jolly will follow Trinket, though.
You're practically on the ethereal plane, man, with how freaking, unnoticeable you are.
Yeah, you guys can tell that Furball is very on edge.
For pass without trace, do we all have to roll stealth checks with it or anything?
Just if you want a stealth, you get a plus 10.
Yeah, it's if you want it. If not, then I would imagine that you're...
she's just walking.
Okay, so Jolly's not going to use it, so it doesn't have any effect on her.
Leland is also following Trinket.
Mary is following Trinket, but she will use the pass without trace.
Martha, what are you doing?
She'll do whatever Trinket's doing. If he's trying to be sneaky, she'll be sneaky. If he's not, she won't.
He is not being sneaky, but you would have heard him say that this spell, because he kind of sees Furball kind of disappear, he's like, not a bad idea, type thing.
Oh. Okay, then she'll sneak.
I got a dirty 20.
With the plus 10?
14.
14 total, Martha?
Mm-hmm. I've been rolling great all night.
Alright, so Jolly and Trinket are foremost in the front. Jolly doesn't care. And as you guys approach the building, the doors open and what appears to be a tall elven woman appears with a glistening silver staff in her hand. And she is wearing blue. And not only is she wearing blue, but you could swear, despite the weather all around, that her skin has a tint of blueness to it.
All right.
Trinket, who have you brought into our little hamlet?
And then she'll pop up. My name's Jolly, and I'm here to figure out why we woke up and didn't have any trinkets or toys this Christmas. Or this Yule.
So you've come to investigate, have you?
Yes. And I brought ginger snaps if you like those too.
And she kind of looks almost a little upset that you've come, but then she softens at the idea of ginger snaps.
And so Jolly will, pull one out and, put it kind of like a friendship cookie.
And she will take it and nod and eat it. This is actually quite delicious. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We also have hot chocolate.
And she looks over at you, Martha. Oh, and there's another one. How many of there are you?
Mary pipes up. Oh, there's just a few. Hi.
I see.
Furball's not budging from the shadows.
Trinket, did you bring them? Kind of.
He followed, and then we made it practically here, and then he pointed us in the right direction.
He brought us the last 5% or so.
Yes, and what is your name?
I go by the Winter Witch.
I'm getting some serious Narnia vibes right now.
Roll a history check to see if there's any stories that,
Yeah, sure.
that, Autumn's Rest tells about.
I'll get in on the history check.
Okay, and I'm gonna use one of my things.
Alright.
It's not gonna...
21.
Yeah, nope. I've got an 8.
Jolly does not know who this individual is, but Leland, you also don't recognize the name. However, you do recognize her as an Eldraine elf. She is currently in her winter mood.
All right.
Trinket, do you remember this woman?
Yes, but when did you start calling yourself this? I don't remember this. It was after you went on vacation, Trinket. Had hundreds of years to contemplate the gifts that our little hamlet has bestowed upon this region, and how undeserving it is.
Mary's gonna turn down to Trinket and she's gonna be like, so is she the boss lady?
And he kind of looks at you with almost kind of panic in his face, yeah.
Oh.
So, Winter Witch, is that correct? Am I getting it right?
Yes.
Winter Witch. Miss Winter Witch. I'm Martha. It's very nice to meet you. So you're feeling some contention towards the people, it sounds like. You aren't feeling like participating in Yule-time anymore? Is that the message we should take back?
Something like that, yes.
Can I get specifics?
Yeah, that's a little vague.
As you guys start to ask her questions, the wind starts to pick up a bit more. It's starting to become stinging cold.
In response to that, Mary's gonna say, you know what? I just have a great idea. How about we have a nice conversation? I can sing a song. Here, I have a lovely song about the winter that is very wonderful that I'd love for you to hear. And she's actually just gonna start singing. And she would like to use enthralling performance with it.
Okay, go ahead and remind me what that is.
Okay, so let me pull it up on here. Enthralling performance is you can change your performance with seductive fey magic if you perform it for at least 1 minute. You can attempt to inspire wonder in your audience by singing blah, blah, blah. At the end of the performance, choose a number of humanoids within 60 feet of you who watched and listened to it. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so she must succeed on a wisdom saving throw against my spell save DC or be charmed by me. And while charmed in this way, the target idolizes you, speaks glowingly of you to anyone who speaks to it, and hinders anyone who opposes you, avoiding violence. They don't want violence. The effect ends on the target after an hour. If I attack it, it's not happy. If it succeeds on the saving throw, though, the target has no idea that I tried to charm it.
But you have to do it for a full minute uninterrupted.
So the first condition is that this performance needs to happen, which we would need permission from the Winter Witch for, and then we might have other problems even if it did perform. But
yeah, so that's the hope with this, is that she can do a performance to try and charm her so that she can get more information.
She doesn't say anything to that.
Okay, she's just gonna start going into it. She's gonna be like, all right, guys, listen to this. I'm hoping this will diffuse the tension of the situation. And she's just gonna start singing Winter Wonderland.
As Mary's singing, can Furball just keep an eye on the surrounding area and see if there's anyone else coming or anything else going on in the background?
You want to roll me a perception check, Furball? So she's got a... What does she have to beat?
For the wisdom save? It is going to be, let me scroll down, a 15. She's to beat a 15. And she does not know that she has been charmed if she succeeds.
That's a 28 on perception, by the way.
Oh, she doesn't know? Okay.
Yeah, that's one of the perks about enthralling performances, that they don't know.
Sneaky magic.
Yeah. Why do you think Mary's such a hit every winter?
She succeeded.
Ah, darn it. So she's not charmed, but she doesn't know that I tried to charm her.
I do like that song.
Yes, it's quite a lovely song. I was hoping that it would diffuse some tension.
Your performance is lovely, but it does not solve the issue before us.
Oh, what's the issue?
A lack of gratitude. I have provided this region with modest weather for hundreds of years. And what do? They commercialize it. Lords and ladies taking away good land from common folk. No vink, not even a whisper in our direction of gratitude. Why should I continue to perform such service? Magic has made people hard. So I'm taking the magic.
I feel like there's been some miscommunication. From what I understand, the people didn't even know who lived up here, and they didn't know there was a connection to the warm weather and the gifts. So there's just been a lot of miscommunication. If they knew, they would have loved to come visit. And thank you. I'm sure you would have been showered with gifts and praise if they had known. Because you do a lot. You work really hard.
You know, and we have a testimony of someone from the town who's lived there all her life. Jolly. Thanks.
By the way, did I notice anything while she was singing?
Yeah, you notice some shapes, just barely within visibility range, but they're kind of blurred. But they're moving around.
I'm trying to think about how I want to do this, because I have two options.
And, Miss Witch, while as much as I agree with you that people don't deserve a whole lot, I resent the idea, the intimation that this was entirely one-sided. That how are people supposed to show gratitude? Did you want their money, their thanks, just words? Words feel like not enough. Money feels like too much. How would that message even get to you? We barely made it here alive.
I don't need gifts. I don't need praise. I just need people to stop being selfish and greedy. This was supposed to be a place where people could live their lives and focus on being kind to each other, but no, that is not the case.
Jolly's gonna pipe up. If you want everybody to be nice, then why are you not being nice? We love Yule-time and all the gifts, and you didn't see how sad we all were this morning when we woke up and you weren't there. And she's gonna cast Vicious Mockery as she's saying that.
I'm assuming we enter initiative with that.
Yeah, everybody roll initiative.
10.
I got a 4.
15.
21.
Oh, so my Vicious Mockery doesn't work. Okay.
Oh, my apologies. No, go ahead. What do I have to beat?
Let's see, it says it must succeed on a wisdom saving throw, so that's 15.
She succeeded.
So you said there were some other shadows I saw kind of around the edges. Have I been able to make any distinctive shapes out of that yet, or is it just her we can see?
It looks like some kind of wolf.
Oh, just one?
Or wolves, maybe. Kind of hard to tell.
Okay. How far away are they from me?
I would say they are about probably 30 to 40 feet away. They're just kind of right on that borderline of visibility.
Can I, maintaining my stealth, move about 20-ish feet closer to see if I can get a better look at what's going on over there?
They are indeed wolves as you get closer.
How many?
So far you're counting 3.
Cool. I'm going to unravel a whip from my belt, and I'm going to, seeing combat about to get started, I'm going to lash out at one of the wolves at an attempt to get them out of here so they don't attack us. I'm like going to hit one of them with.
Okay. Yeah, you're welcome to make an attack check with that.
That's a 25 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
That would be for 16 damage.
You whip the one wolf, and you actually are able to... You end up cutting it across the face, and the wolf yelps and immediately just takes off running.
Okay, I'm going to hit a second wolf then.
Okay.
That's a 17 to hit.
That hits.
16 damage.
Okay, you whip the second wolf, and you do hit it, but it seems unfazed, unlike the other one.
Okay. I'm going to use my Dread Ambusher for a third attack on the third wolf. And that one is a mod 20 to hit. And that's 17 damage on the third wolf.
Alright. That one also yelps and runs away.
And having scared away 2 of the wolves and at least injuring the third one, Furball's going to step into the light of the clearing, kind of brandishing his whip, as he's going to use the rest of his movement to get about 15-ish feet away from the witch. And he's just going to say, "We tried asking nicely."
Because every time you whipped a wolf, there was a yelp. And she's like, "You whipped my wolves?"
I've had enough experience with wolves to know when they're about to attack. Don't try to play coy.
Alright. Mary, you're up.
Mary's a little unsure of what to do at this point. So what she is going to do... Oops, what did I do? She's going to try and cast Charm Person. Alrighty, so she is going to sing a little bit of "Baby, it's cold outside," and then she's going to she's just gonna say, "Baby, it's cold outside," and try and charm her, which I realize I don't have to roll because it's a wisdom saving throw.
All right. Okay. And what does she got to be?
15.
She succeeds.
That one, she knows that it was charmed by me. So
He's rocking these wisdom saves.
I know. She's doing real good. So she's just gonna be like, oh, well, look at the time. It is cold outside. I really can't stay. And that's gonna be her turn because that was her action. So she's gonna still stay by Leland because she figures that the giant Loxodon is like her source of protection.
Martha, you're up.
Okay. Whoa. Whoa. So Martha is going to step in between the party and the Winter Witch, and she's actually facing towards the party. Wow. And is like, whoa, guys, we don't need to start fighting. The Winter Witch hasn't actually done anything wrong. She's decided to stop providing a service that she was giving for free. We don't have to hurt her. She could probably kill us all, so let's calm down.
I wasn't trying to hurt her.
Just everybody calm down. And I think I'm gonna try to do calm emotions. I think I can do that on... Yeah, it's a group of people. Okay. So everybody within 60 feet. I'm going to try to suppress the strong emotions of everybody. Yeah, people can choose to fail if they wish. Otherwise, they need to make a saving throw.
What kind of...
So yeah, wisdom saving throw. Should be wisdom.
Wisdom saving throw?
Oh, sorry, charisma, my bad. Charisma saving throw. People can choose to fail, though.
What do we have to succeed?
12.
Oh, I succeeded.
I also
I
succeeded.
got a 17.
Furball wants to keep his wits about him. He got a 17.
Leland kind of just reflexively
So,
protects his mind.
does the Winter Witch fail or succeed?
She succeeded.
Okay, so it has no effect, because if it failed, she'd be indifferent towards us, but... So that doesn't work.
Jolly, you're up.
Okay, so Jolly, after casting this, realizing she's casted Vicious Mockery, she'll stomp her foot and she'll be like, just look, okay? And then she's gonna cast Minor Illusion of the sound of the people, like, celebrating the gifts and the trinkets that they've received from, like, over the past couple years, and present it to her as my action. And then she'll say, look, see, we do appreciate it. We just don't know who to thank. And that's going to be her action and her turn.
Roll Persuasion, but do so with disadvantage since she just tried to Vicious Mockery her a little earlier.
It's still a, 14 plus 7, 21?
21?
That's still a 21?
She seems to legitimately be listening. Actually, I need you to make a percentile, sorry.
15.
Your minor illusion starts to go and starts to play the sounds that you want it to, but it's overtaken by the wind, and you can no longer hear it. For some reason, the spell failed.
I can't do anything else. It takes an action to cast Minor Illusion, so...
She started to hear it, but then the wind picked up, and the facial expression went back to being quite flustered. Her turn. She's going to cast Ray of Frost at Furball because he hurt her pets.
That's fair.
What's your armor class?
18.
Are we sure they were wolves and not reindeer?
If it was reindeer, I wouldn't have gone after him. I'm not scared of reindeer.
You should be. Just kidding. He ran over my grandma. This is.
Your poor grandma, Martha. We're so sad.
Martha did say that she doesn't have any family. Sorry.
She's going to cause 9 damage on you.
Giving me the cold shoulder. I see how it is.
I am now going to ask you all to leave and accept the fate of this region. Perhaps a couple centuries of harsh weather will change their hearts to good.
Can we, if there was one way that we could convince you that they are truly a thankful and gracious people, would you be willing to listen if we could show you that?
I've seen enough.
And Mary's gonna say, wait, please. And can she try and persuade her using persuasion and just be like, please, if you just come down to the village, you will see the hearts of the people, that they are truly grateful for you. Even without the presents, the Christmas spirit or the Yule spirit is still there. Please, if we can just show you that, I'm sure it will prove to you how grateful they are and how this time of year they have that spirit still.
I would say Jolly would hug her just to nail Mary's point into the wall.
I will let you make a persuasion roll if you wish on your turn.
I would like to do that on my turn.
In the meantime, while you are attempting to persuade her, her remaining wolf is going to... Let's see here. Her one wolf is going to attack Jolly. Go ahead and make a strength saving throw.
It's a 19.
You want to take 10 piercing damage as the wolf starts to bite into your leg. Alright, Leland, you're up.
Leland is laughing. It's this like throaty chuckle that it's clear to everybody that this feels ridiculous to him. He approaches a little closer to the Winter Witch and addresses her. Now, you may be right. Perhaps these people are unworthy of your kindness. They deserve more gratitude. So what? What purpose does ruining their fun have? This holiday has never been the source of their kindness, and it will not be the end of it.
Roll a persuasion check.
17.
She doesn't respond to your remarks, but you can tell she's actually thinking about it.
Leland turns around and starts heading towards his disc that's been floating a little bit behind him, and he starts going through the packs looking for something. But pulling it out of a backpack would be another action, so he wouldn't be able to do that this turn. But yeah, that's what he's up to.
Furball, you're up.
Furball is gonna try to get the wolf off his friend. So I'm gonna start smacking the wolf some more. He's just gonna yell, "Get off!" as he whips. That's a 21 to hit.
That hits.
For 9 damage.
It does let go of her leg, but it starts to snarl in your direction.
I'm gonna whip it again for another 8. And tell it to get lost.
It does stay its ground, though.
He's gonna bare his own fangs at the wolf as he's trying to tell it to get lost.
Are you guys having a fang off here?
Yes.
Mary, you're up, unless there's anything else you want to do.
No, that's it.
Okay. So Mary is just going to continue, like, with what Leland said and what she was saying earlier. She's going to say, like, the people down there, yes, their kindness doesn't come, like Leland said, from a Yule holiday, but they truly do appreciate your presence. And around this time of year, because of the gifts that you give, they give back to others as well. They truly have a beautiful spirit, and this has come about from the gifts that you bring. And she's going to try and roll persuasion with that.
Okay. Persuasion.
26?
Her facial expression, like, it keeps kind of softening, then hardening, and then softening as you're talking, as if she's having this internal debate within herself. They just want the gifts. Without the gifts, they would become even more hard-hearted.
Then just come look, come see, come with us down to the village. Since they didn't receive any gifts this year, just see how kind-hearted they are. And if you see that they are a hard-headed bunch and they don't deserve your presence, then by all means, that is your right to judge. And you don't have to give them any more gifts. But please, just come see that if they are giving and loving like we're saying that they are, please reconsider.
She will continue to think about that. Is there anything else you want to do for your turn?
I was wondering if I could use my telepathy, my telepathic abilities, because in here it says I can cast the Detect Thoughts spell requiring no spell slot or component. Is it possible to do that, or?
Detect Thoughts is an action to cast.
It's an action, so I'll have to do it next turn.
Martha, you're up.
I'll take a look over my shoulder at the Winter Witch, if she seems like she might be considering the idea or not. I guess I'm going to try and persuade her as well, and I'm going to use Channel Divinity as my bonus action to give myself an extra +5 to my persuasion checks for the next 10 minutes. Okay. So I'm still kind of like, wow, then the wolf just jumped on Jolly, and I'm like, oh my gosh, not Jolly. Winter Witch, please call off your wolves. Jolly's just had a really hard day. She was so looking forward to getting gifts, and she was spreading joy. She was entertaining kids all day yesterday, making them happy. She was singing songs. We don't want to fight you. At least, we don't. We just wanted to help. We thought something was wrong. We had no idea. No one had any idea that you were upset. And we apologize for intruding on your home. Please come and see the people. And call off your wolves, please.
You don't want to fight me, though? And she points at Jolly. She insulted me with literally hurtful words. For a denizen of Autumn's refuge. Some gratitude, that is. And her face starts to get a little hardened again.
Am I allowed to say anything else, or is that the end of my ability?
You can say a little bit more if you want.
So Martha's actually gonna turn to the Winter Witch, and she's going to drop her glaive. I'm not going to fight you. I won't. You have done nothing wrong, except for hurting Jolly, but she hurt you. So, there's tension there. But you can still choose to be a good person despite what other people say or do. She insulted you. You can choose to be a better person or not, like you want the people down below to be. That's your choice. I will not fight you. I'm choosing that.
Go ahead and roll persuasion.
Well, I got a 13.
Her facial expression doesn't change, but she was at least listening.
Okay.
Anything else you want to do on your turn? Bonus action, movement, or anything?
My bonus action was the channel divinity, so that's it. She's not moving between the Winter Witch and the party, but now she's facing the Winter Witch.
Jolly, you're up.
Okay, so Jolly will move next to Martha, and she'll sit on her knees and pull out her lute and start playing. Hang on, it's the whole thing. She'll start playing like quiet, like instrumental Christmas music, or like, you know, Yuletide tunes.
Yeah.
And then she wants to tell stories to the Winter Witch of like people giving gifts to other people, or like acts of service that she's seen other people do because of the spirit of the Yuletide season from her.
Okay.
So, which performance or...
Performance. Okay. Roll at disadvantage, though. She's pretty upset about that vicious mockery earlier.
I mean, it was vicious.
It cut deep.
And a mockery.
I'm gonna use one.
Okay.
Just because I can.
Oh, I forgot we had those. Dang it.
So that is a 21. I think. 19 plus 2. Yeah, 21.
Okay.
And then she'll tell as many stories as she can, and when she runs out of stories, she's gonna put the lute on the ground next to like Martha's glaive if she can. And just look at the ground and just like start crying.
The wind is no longer steam cold and almost dies completely down. She waves her hand and the wolf backs down. And at this point, she's no longer being hostile. Trinket goes up to her. Lady Sylvia, it isn't worth this. Please stop. She looks down at Trinket, takes her staff, and she puts it next to your lute and your glaive. And kneels in front of Trinket and states, "All right. So we are out of initiative order."
So is she going to come with us, or are we just like waiting?
I was gonna say Jolly's not moving.
Is Leland coming back with what
Yes.
he got out of the bag? That's my question.
Leland,
Yeah.
He went over to the bags, and from out of his backpack, he pulls a rather old, kind of battered blanket. And he is going to take it over to the Winter Witch and kind of offer it to her. That, like the loud one said, it's cold outside.
She takes it gingerly, kind of rubs her thumbs over it, feels how worn and used it is, but it's like clearly not a rag. And she puts it over her shoulders And you can see kind of some color flushing back into her face a bit as she goes from a winter Eldraine to a spring Eldraine. Thank you.
You are welcome.
And her heart grew 3 sizes that day.
You also notice that the weather is now moderate again. There's a lot of snow, but besides all the snow, then
Wind has died down.
yeah, the wind's practically just maybe an occasional breeze here and there with high. It is. I mean, it's still cold with how high it is up on the mountain, but the clouds kind of depart where it's like kind of like the sun is able to at least peek out a bit more often.
Trinket said her name was Sylvie, right? Or Sylvia?
Sylvia.
Sylvia, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Sylvia, would you like to come and join us for the Yule festivities down in the town? We'd love to have you.
And when Mary says that, Jolly will actually get up and walk over to the place where we put like all of our stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll pick up a box of the ginger snaps that like isn't opened yet. And she'll walk over and put it down next to all the stuff that's collecting on the ground. And she'll be like, there'll be lots more of these too.
I almost make you want to roll a deception check because you bought out the store.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
Jesus.
hopefully they baked more.
Not a lie, but
Yeah, no, I know. She sees the box of ginger snaps. It's been a long time since anybody's given me a gift.
You made it awful hard.
I did.
and can Jolly like run up and give her a hug when she says that nobody's given her a gift?
Yeah.
It's just like the longest hug ever.
She's a little hesitant because
Yeah.
but she eventually kind of puts her arms around you as well and hugs you back. Perhaps there is more good in Autumn's refuge than I thought. Maybe I've been doing this for too long. Maybe it's time for me to go back home.
Perhaps take a vacation. It worked well for Trinket.
Yes, I may do just that.
We'll let the townsfolk know. They can handle their own gifts.
I think there may be a replacement if he and his wife are willing to take it up. And she beckons you to come inside the building.
Everyone? Or like...
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, we'll follow inside.
Go inside. I'll pick up my glaive, but not in a malicious manner, more like...
Just it's your stuff.
It's my teddy bear.
You guys go inside, and you see gnomes, a few elves, a few dwarves, kind of muddling about, and they seem to be in the process of creating all various kinds of things. Toys, trinkets, even some pies and pastries even. And she leads you toward the back where there is a simple forge built. And in front of the forge is a man working away.
Like a human?
It is a human, yes.
What's he wearing?
He seems to be wearing a leather apron with a rolled up long sleeve shirt and work pants and boots. He's working.
How old is he?
Doesn't appear to be too old.
So Jolly will lean over to Sylvia and she'll be like, do you think maybe he wants one of these ginger snaps?
We can ask him. She turns to the man. Nicholas, would you like some ginger snap cookies? And he kind of stops working, puts the tools down, he kind of wipes his brow. He turns around, and you see kind of a middle-aged man. Brown hair. He's got a beard, not too long. But there is some speckle of white, across the beard and hair. a little bit. Oh, I would love something. Thank you.
And so Jolly will just like open the box and like put it out so he can grab one.
They smell delicious.
They're the best in the whole town.
I'll readily believe that. Then he takes one, he starts to eat it a little bit. What can I do for you, Lady Celia? Can I go back to making trinkets and toys again?
Wait, what was he making if it wasn't toys?
He seemed to be making, honestly, like basic tools. Like, it was kind of more mundane things. They weren't necessarily like, they're crafted well, but they're very plain and there's nothing extraordinary about them. Well, Nicholas, that is actually the question I wanted to ask you. And he kind of looks at her for a second and kind of starts to realize what has happened. I would like to. And I'm guessing you will allow me to as well. You seem to be in a better mood. He's like, yes. How much longer would you like to make and create? He kind of laughs. I would like to continue making for the remainder of my days, as long as I have no strength left in me. And also with the approval of my wife, of course. I'm going away. And before he can say anything, she raises a hand. I want you to take my place. I need to go home. But I think you will end up doing a much better job than I did. You came here wanting to give and asking nothing and ever in return. And you've held to that attitude all your days, as long as I've known you. And I think you can handle it for quite some time longer. Will you take over? He looks a little perplexed.
And Jolly will be so excited. She'll be like, please say yes. And then she'll be like, oh, sorry.
Furball's gonna pipe in and say, if you don't mind, if you're having someone leave, I have quite a bit of experience in manufacturing toys and tools and trinkets and things like that. I could help out if you need some.
And Nicholas looks at you. Of course, we can always use the help. We've never turned anybody away.
Perfect. I have been looking for something to do. My old job didn't quite work out.
I have to admit, the pay here is not that great, but generally people don't come here for the pay.
He's going to look around to the gnomes and say, I have a debt to repay to society. I got to work on that.
Okay. Seems people want me to take over.
Congratulations on the promotion.
He kind of smiles. Yes, I suppose it could be viewed that. So I've lived all my days giving and creating.
You are quite the saint. You know, I think after today I'll write a couple songs about you. Saint Nicholas.
Oh, well, I suppose that's... And he starts to kind of laugh, and it's like this very deep, just cheerful laugh. Well, I suppose that wouldn't be too far of a title. I am a cleric, after all.
Santa's a cleric. That's awesome.
I think my gods would approve. I suppose I'll do it.
Well, Nicholas, sorry to interrupt. This is super great, by the way. Love all of these good feelings. Is there anything you would like us to communicate to the town so there's not miscommunication in the future? Like who the presents are coming from? Should they leave you gifts?
Would you like an alias?
Well, I want nothing in return. Though I won't say no to a plate full of ginger snap cookies if they wish. And I've heard the hot cocoa is quite delicious down there.
Their warm milk too, actually. Milk was really good too. I had one of the milk.
Would you like them to leave some out for you on Yule Eve?
I suppose he looks a little perplexed. I suppose I was mostly joking about that.
Oh. Okay.
I don't know. I'm a little worried I might put on a little weight, but those cookies might be worth it.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So Nick, is there a Mrs. Nicholas?
Well, yes, they've mentioned his wife.
Yes, I'm very happily married. We've been married for many years, and he kind of starts to look a little confused a little bit. He's like, I've honestly lost count how many years we've been together. Suffice to say, a very long time. I don't remember a life without her anymore.
That is so sweet. I'm gonna add her to the songs too.
I suppose I can do this. I don't know if the usual method of delivering will work anymore. We've always relied on Lady Sylvia's magic to have them appear. I do not have that ability.
Well, you've got a year to figure it out.
Yes, I suppose I could think of something creative. I like to come up with unusual ideas. And he kind of looks at all of you and he says, but I guess I should ask you to. I should thank you for helping our little hamlet and helping us see the good in the world again. What would you all like for Yule-time?
Ooh, I want something in a stocking.
Want something in a stocking?
Yes.
What would you like in the stocking?
Oh. Oh. I don't know. Whatever you normally give people? I wasn't really expecting anything particular. It's just the excitement of getting, something in a stocking.
He kind of looks at you for a moment, seeming to be really contemplating something. And he says, I know what we can do. And he turns to Leland, actually. What would you like for Yule?
Well, I no longer have a blanket, but winters, they get a little cold, and it seems like you have a good supply of fire, what's the word? Not firewood, of charcoal here, of coal. If you could bring me some of that for my stove, that way I could keep warm in the winters as well.
I can do that. Yes. Absolutely. And he turns to Martha. What would you like for Yule?
You mean Mary? I'm Martha.
Oh, sorry, Mary.
Martha gets 2 presents.
Presents. Yes! I get 3 stockings again.
Mary sits there and thinks for a bit. And she goes, I'm not sure. I love to sing. I love to spread this Yule joy with music. But then again, I have no one to share Yule with. I don't know if you have a dating service, but just kidding. No, she says, whatever you think will be great. I'm happy with that. The gift does not matter to me.
He again looks at you, contemplating heavily. Alright. I think I have something in mind for you. He turns to Furball. And what would you like for Yule, besides a job?
Furball kind of scratches behind his head and he says, well, I mean, I've also been kind of lacking in companionship lately, but I was wondering, I really liked those wolves that your friend had there. Were really cool, actually. Do you by chance know if I could acquire one? Maybe a young pup.
I can certainly try.
I've always wanted to train one myself.
I see. Well, I'll see what I can do.
And at this point, you just see Jolly, hanging her head.
And what would you like for Yule?
Deserve any presents. I was mean.
A little. But if we just focused on only what was wrong with the world, it wouldn't get any better. I think it's ultimately what's in the inner heart that matters most. And besides, I'm choosing to give a gift to you. What would you like for Yule?
And at this point, Savannah's actually crying, so sorry, guys. And Jolly will look down, as he's saying this, and she'll actually be crying too. So this works out. Pregnancy hormones are great. But she'll look down and she'll say, I just want to be happy.
That is a good thing to want. And I know just the thing for that. Perhaps we should get you all back down to Autumn's Refuge. And let the town know they hang their stockings one last night. I'll be finished before morning breaks. He gestures you to leave with him, leaving behind Sylvia in the workshop, and you see her kind of gazing around at everything, just kind of deep in thought.
Is Furball staying, or is he coming?
That would be up to Furball.
Furball's gonna head back to town for now to gather up his things.
And he takes you over, and there is a sleigh in the back. He says, wait one moment while I get him harnessed up. And, because I'm sure at this point you all would like to get back to town as quickly as possible. He goes around the corner, and a minute later he comes back and he's pulling a reindeer with him. And hooking up the reindeer to the sleigh. I figured Dasher would do well for the job here.
Does he know the whole set?
The whole set of what?
The rest will come later.
And he kind of attaches it, and he looks at all of you. He's like, I know it's a little unusual, but reindeer are a little more plentiful around these parts than horses are. And in my opinion, they are quicker than horses.
Might I ask, how is your German?
I do not know this German that you speak of, but I speak a variety of languages. If you would like to hear some Draconic.
I think he's mentioning Loxodon.
And he starts conversing with you in Loxodon. He knows it.
Very impressive, actually. It's rare for anyone else to bother.
You all pile into the sleigh, and he's conversing with you in Loxodon for a bit more, because he can tell that you're enjoying it. And he takes you down the mountain, and he takes you along a pathway that you guys didn't know existed. It's oddly hidden in plain sight for some reason. It's just not able to be seen from almost any angle while looking up at the mountain. And as he starts to pull towards Autumn's Rest, he says, if you don't mind, we like to keep our anonymous nature intact. So this is where I will drop you off, and it's about, you find yourselves at the beginning of that road that just kind of ended, about just under half a mile out of town.
Thank you for the ride, Nicholas.
Yes, and I will wait here for Furball, and then he looks at you, Jolly. And I will also wait here for you.
For me?
Yes?
Why for me?
Let me tell you a secret. The best way to be happy is to make others happy. If you would like to come with me back to Delectation in my workshop, you can help bring about Yule every year.
And Jolly will just stay in the sleigh with him. She's like, okay.
Oh, Jolly. Okay. Oh. Well, thank you for my first stocking, Jolly. Here's a small gift. I'll just pat her head and cast, lay on hands and heal her back to full health.
So you guys go back into Autumn's Refuge. Jolly and Furball go back with Nicholas. You let everybody know to hang up their stockings, and you guys go to sleep, and in the morning your stockings are full.
Woo! What's in the stocking?
Leland, in your stocking is a large blanket. How it fit in the stocking, you have no idea. It's a brightly colored blanket.
He's a little like, a little bright, but I'll flip it over. But he's happy. Like,
and as you kind of wrap yourself in it, you can't help but feel not only physically warm, but something inside of you also feels a bit warmer.
Mm-hmm.
There is also a small bag of coal.
Perfect.
Mary, in your stocking, there is a large collection of they almost look like coins. You're not sure what the metal is, but on the front of one, as you kind of inspect it, they all look similar. The front of it says, "Greatest hits from Mary Cariah." And as you're kind of holding this and thinking about it, you hear it starts to like emanate music. And the first one is "All I Want for Yule-time Is You." So you are able to spread your music far and wide, bringing joy to people every Yule-time. You know, before going back under ice.
We're going back into the iceberg. Mary loves this.
Martha, you find 3 stockings on your door.
She's so excited.
In the first one is a little tiny, like, coat, almost, emblazoned with the order that you follow, or the tenet that you follow.
Aww.
In the next stocking, you find a little fabric glaive. And then in the final one is a little bear with Velcro on the hands to be able to hold the glaive. So you can dress up your bear with a glaive and jacket.
Oh my gosh, I love it so much. It's a build an adventurer. It's amazing. She loves it.
Furball, you have a job now.
No puppy.
I'm hard at work.
In your stocking, and you didn't hang one up, but you find a stocking, and in the stocking, you find a little pup.
He's gonna pick the pup up, look him in the eye, and be like, you look like a fine pup. I'll train you well. You need a strong name. How about Karkaroth? That's it. Yes, Karkaroth. You and I will conquer many.
And it gleefully licks your face as you say this.
Perfect.
And obviously, upon spending time with it, you find out that Karkaroth is quite the cuddler.
Even better.
And Jolly, you start helping out with lots of toys and trinkets, and practically become one of Nicholas's apprentices. You're the only one that did not get a stocking, but know that you got exactly what you always dreamed of.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we're in the session.
Very nice.
Oh, that was fabulous.
Hopefully you guys all enjoyed that.
That was so fun.
Oh, it was.
And thank you to our guests for joining along. We had a lot of fun with you guys.
Glad to be here.
Thank you. We love doing stuff with you, Nat One Nerds. You're the guys are the best.
Yes, what Sierra said. You guys are amazing, and we are so happy to be able to work with you guys.
If you guys want to understand a couple of the references made in this actual play, you guys should go over to Rosemary PG Studios on YouTube and start watching their campaign, where you will then be able to understand the references. Hopefully by next year, when you're in the mood for some holiday actual play. But thanks, guys, so much for coming on. As always, it's a blast. We want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.